Welcome. Hey, we have got a great dish planned for you today. We're doing Colorado Venison Au Poivre. It's a great venison loin with a pepper crust. We're going to do some smoked sweet potatoes and some green beans almandine. Let's get cooking. We want to make sure we get the silver skin off of this great looking loin here. And all I do is I just sort of take my knife and just slide it up there and try to get most of that off. Go in that direction. And then you can usually just grab it and most of it will peel right off. Have a little extra, get your knife back in there, give yourself something to hold on to, and again just peel that silver skin off. You got to get that off there because it's super tough. You can't chew it, you can't digest it, so you got to get that off of there. A little bit right here, but you've got to get your loin nice and trimmed, so you get all the silver skin off. Any excess fat, you want to take that off as well. Now once we have it all trimmed, get all the silver skin off of there, then we just want to cut our loins into nice even pieces, about 6 to 8 inches long. I want to get them nice and even. So we end up with 3 great looking pieces of meat. Isn't that great? This is fantastic. All right, now that we've got all of the silver skin off of the meat, we want to make sure we get it well seasoned. So we're going to use some kosher salt. We want to season a little bit, don't overdo it, but get a good amount of salt on both sides of the meat. Okay? Then we want to coat it really heavy with some freshly cracked black pepper. Now what I've done is I put it in a pie pan, just a good coating down there. So we're going to take the meat, you want to press that down in, flip it over, make sure you get the other side really well coated. Okay? We'll get all 3 of these done. Press it down, flip it over, and then the next one, press it down and flip it over. And that's all you have to do to season this thing. It's going to give it a great crust. It's going to, because you got to remember, there's no seasoning on the inside of this meat. Okay, once you've got the meat well seasoned and all the nice pepper and stuff on it, now we've got to sear it before we can put it on the smoker. We want to keep all of those juices in there. And so we've got about a 10.5-inch cast iron skillet. Over medium-high heat. We got a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of butter here, getting a little bit smoky for us. And we're just going to go ahead and put the meat on. We want to put all 3 of them in a skillet. Now we're going to leave it there about a minute on each side. We don't want to overcook it. We're not trying to cook it here. We're just trying to sear it. So we're going to leave it on there about a minute. Okay, so our meat's been on there about a minute. Now we want to go ahead and turn it over. Oh, that crust looks fantastic. So we've got those all turned over. Now again, remember that pepper is just a great crust on the outside. It's the only chance you really have to season it because you can't season the inside of it. So now we want to sear it for about a minute there. Then we're going to take it off the heat and we're going to go put it on the smoker. Green Mountain has got this great device for adding a little bit more smoke to your food. It's a thin blue smoker tube, and it's an expandable tube, and you just load it full of the pellets, just like we have here, and then you're just going to light that. Now, if you've got a little piece of fire starter, you can use that. I've got a torch, so we're going to use the torch and get that started. You want to let it go ahead and turn into a flame, and then just place it right in the firebox right beside your food. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put our meat right here in the center of the smoker, and we want to get the meat probe put right in the middle one, and we want to insert it to about the middle of the meat. That's what's going to work with the online app that we have to tell us when our meat's done. Green Mountain has got this fantastic app. It's one of the great features about these smokers. I basically set up a profile for this venison loin. It lets me set the temperature, it lets me set the temperature of the meat, and then it's going to tell me exactly when it's done. Okay, we've got to have this fantastic sauce with this meat. This meat's going to be tremendous, but it's got to have a great topping for it. So we've come up with a bourbon cream sauce. Now you remember earlier we seared that meat in the skillet. That skillet's still got all that good stuff in there. It's got the pepper, it's got the salt, it's got the little bits of meat that's in there. So we've got to deglaze the pan. So we took our little bit of a mix we put together with the Jamaican jerk sauce and the beef glaze. We're going to put that in there first. And we just want to use that to deglaze the pan. We're over medium-high heat. And we're just scraping all of those bits and pieces up off the bottom of the skillet. Just like that. Okay. Now, we need to add a little bit more liquid. This just gets a little fun for me. We're going to put in 2 ounces of bourbon. So you want to turn the flame off. All right, then we just want to let all of those flames kind of burn off. Once they've all burned off, now we're going to add 1 clove of minced garlic and about 2 tablespoons of fresh chopped parsley goes in there. We want to stir that into the sauce as well. And now we're going to add about 6 ounces of heavy cream. And then just stir all that in. We want to heat that all the way through. Bring it just to a boil and then turn it off the heat. Green beans almandine, super easy. Anybody can do it, just takes a few minutes. Got a little bit of olive oil. I've got a little bit of butter here in the pan over medium-high heat. We're going to let that melt. Then we want to go ahead, once we get that all melted, we want to add our green beans. Stir those around a little bit, and then we want to toss those. Make sure they're all well coated, and then season with a little bit of salt and pepper. And now we just want to warm those through and just toss them every now and then just to make sure that they stay well coated. And you want to cook these till they're just heated all the way through. Don't want to get them soggy, keep them crisp. And then right here at the end, we want to add about 2 ounces of lemon juice and about 1/4 cup of sliced almonds. Give it a couple quick tosses. And it's done. Hey, it's been great cooking stuff for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to know how to make this and all the side dishes we did with it, please check out the Southern Hog Slayers YouTube channel or the Powder Fam Sausage YouTube channel. It's been great to have you today.